Some of you guys know I was trying to teach people how I traded in my fund for a decade, and it just wasn't a smart way to get people started, right? I thought it was easier for people to learn than what it is, and that was my mistake. So you have unlimited upside when you buy a call. You have the potential to make all the way to zero if you buy a put. So you want to understand the differences between the buying of the put and the buying of the call. Also in the safeguard strategy with the Bionic Bull, we do a spread. So you want to understand spreads, and this is important. So let's just say we did a Bionic Bull and we bought a call spread like this. So understanding options, strategies every trader should know. And when we jump over here to, let's just say, let's look at 60 days to go. And what I want to kind of break down is that when you're understanding the basics of options, you guys know here at Dorian Trader, we have three pillars that we talk about. You have to understand the first pillar, and that's what is the call and the put and what's happening when you're selling and buying the call and the put. Right? That's important. You can't get past that. That also includes your rights and your obligations. We talked about that a little bit last week. And then the second pillar is understanding the options chain, what's going on there, right? Because that's where you understand if you're in the money, out of the money, at the money, your probabilities of success, expected moves, things like that. Right? You have to understand the option chain. That's the second pillar. Then the third pillar is understanding basic option strategies. That's what we're going to talk about now. Basic option strategies, because if you understand the basic option strategies, you'll be able to understand all the different exotic strategies that are created out there. Things that we do here at Dorian Trader and things that others do outside of the Dorian Trader. They're just deviations from basic option strategies. Trust me when I say if you understand the basic option strategies, you're going to understand everything else out there. Because it's either going to be a credit or a debit. You are receiving a debit, then it's most likely going to be a right. Okay? It's most likely going to be a right if it's a debit. If it's a credit, it's most likely going to be an obligation. So if you are on the right-hand side of this image here, let's say you're on this put side here. This is the put side. All of these are puts. And if you did 1,000,000 contracts, and when you added it all up, it was a debit, then on that put side, it's going to be a right. You're going to be bearish. It's going down. You want it to go down. And on the call side, if you did 1,000,000 contracts over here, and if it was a credit that you receive, for example, this time, then it's going to be an overall obligation. You are bearish as well. So you can be bearish on the put side if you're the buyer and you have a right. You can be bearish on the call side, but you have an obligation. And you have to understand those different things. And then by understanding the strategy, then the other two pillars kind of come into place. The pillar two, the option chain, the pillar one, the call and the put, what's happening. So let's break this down thinking about the safeguard strategy, you guys. And because with the safeguard strategy, we've been pushing this because our goal is to eliminate failure when learning to trade. And we believe the best way to do that is through the safeguard strategy. Some of you guys know I was trying to teach people how I traded in my fund for a decade, and it just wasn't a smart way to get people started, right? I thought it was easier for people to learn than what it is. And that was my mistake. And so I'm trying to, as we've been going over the last 6 years of teaching people, Ernie, myself, Danielle, Dr. Meadows, Gustavo, all been here for a long, long time. We're trying to continuously improve on how we teach people and how to articulate things better, how to present things in a way that people can understand, and then obviously to eliminate failure, right? It breaks my heart when I hear people losing money and they can no longer trade because I understand how important it is for your overall wealth to be able to be a part of these markets. So it literally pains me to hear that people blow up their account. So using the safeguard strategy, we're going to try to eliminate that. But using the safeguard strategy can also teach you all the things that you need to know. Especially, it can teach you, the first pillar, the second pillar, and it can even teach you the third pillar of the basics of option strategies. So, for example, if you're going to do a cash secured put, you're going to sell a put that's cash secured, meaning it's backed by cash. But if you sell a put, that is a basic strategy. Selling a put is basic. You have to understand the dynamics of selling that put. If you don't, you cannot understand options at a high level. So, for example, when you sell a put, you're going to have an obligation to purchase shares at the strike price that you sell. When you sell a put, it is a bullish strategy. When you sell a put, you receive monies into your account instantaneously. In this case, let's just say about $7. You're receiving $7. That $7 acts as a cushion. So you cannot lose until the stock, the underlining supersedes your stock price, that strike price, by $7 at expiration. So in this case, it's going to have to go down to about 568 before you start losing at expiration, because it has to take this 575 minus the $7, because that's your cushion. That's what you never have to give back. So if this is the at the money line, if you're selling a put, it has to drop a lot before it even touches that strike, and then it has to supersede the premium that you received. So understanding the basic strategy of selling a put and understanding that it's bullish and not bearish, because you're selling something. Sometimes when you sell something, you think you're bearish on it, you're negative on it. But if you're doing it with the put, then that is actually bullish. You're positive on it. You want it to go up, but you're just giving yourself more cushion. It doesn't have to go up. If it doesn't go up, as long as it doesn't go down a lot, you're going to still be able to win because of the credit that you received. So you have to understand the dynamics of that strategy. That's the cash secured put that you would do kind of if you're doing the wheel strategy or if you're doing the safeguard strategy. You can start with a cash secured put. Doesn't mean you can't start with other stuff when you're doing a safeguard strategy. Before we continue with the video, I just want to quickly point out, if you need any additional help, please consider joining our trading club. You can do that by clicking on the link in the description area, and you'll get a 3-month trial for a flat fee of $60. We look forward to seeing you in the trading club. Back to the video. Another strategy that you're going to be doing is the covered call. You're selling a call. It's not a naked call, but it is a covered call, just like that put that we just did right now. A cash secured put can be naked or it can be cash secured. If you're doing a covered call with the safeguard strategy, it's covered because you have the shares already. You have 100 shares. But why is it covered? Well, you have to understand the basics of the selling of the call. If you sell a call, you are bearish and you have an obligation to sell shares to the buyer. So the put side, when we just sold that put, that naked put or that cash secured put, you have an obligation to purchase. When you are the seller of the call, you have an obligation to sell shares to the buyer. So two different obligations, but two obligations, right? And so on the call side, you have the obligation to sell at the 630. You're receiving monies just like the put side, and that monies that you receive is your cushion. So let's just say this was $4.50. So you don't start losing until this goes to 634.50 here. If it was $4.50 that you're receiving right here. So that's your cushion. It has to go up past your 630 and past the 634.50 at expiration for you to lose. But you have an obligation to sell shares. And when you're doing the safeguard strategy, you already have those shares, so you don't have to go to the open market and get them and then sell them. So if it jumps up to, $700, doesn't matter. You don't have any obligation past this 630 because you already have the shares. But that's the most you can make when you are doing a covered call. But my point is not to give you all the details about the cash secured put or the covered call or any of the 4 safeguard strategies. It's for you to understand that you can use the safeguard strategy to understand the basis of option strategies, but to also help you understand that if you don't understand the basic option strategies, you're not going to be able to really do amazingly with the safeguard strategy. You can do well, you can do great, you can do good, but not amazingly because you don't understand the basic strategy. You don't understand what's happening. If you're doing a covered call and you don't understand that the covered call strategy is bullish with just a bearish component, you're going to be looking at it wrong. You're going to be saying, okay, well, I lost on this call if it goes up, so I lost on the trade. That's not true. You're winning on the trade if this call is a problem. The shares is the meat of the trade. You have to understand what you're doing when you're doing strategies. Another thing about our safeguard strategy is that sometimes we buy a put for protection. This is usually with the collar strategy of the safeguard strategy. When you buy a put, it's a basic strategy. When you buy a put, you are bearish. You want it to go down. And you're paying monies out of your account. Right? You're paying for something and you have a right to sell. When you're the purchaser of a put, you have a right. We talked about if you're the seller, you have an obligation. Where if you're the purchaser of a put, you have a right to sell. And if it goes down past the 576, this is where you're most likely going to exercise your right. But if you're doing this as a standalone trade to try to make money, or at expiration, it has to supersede what you paid. So it's not a high probability trade when you're buying a put. Usually it's going to be less than 50-50, and at best 50-50 if you're buying a single put. But if you're using it as a safeguard strategy, you're not trying to make any money on that put. It's just a protection. It's just covering you to the downside, because this option that you buy, every option you buy represents 100 shares. So if you had 100 shares already that you purchased and it dropped and it got to 576, well, then what's happening is that the 100 shares that you can sell, this right here, is offsetting the 100 shares that you purchased. So that's why you can't lose anymore past the 576. They're just offsetting each other. This is a positive and this is a negative. So when you add them all up, it's zero, right? You can't lose anymore as it goes down. So you want to understand what is a basic buying of a put. The safeguard strategy uses this. So when we're using the safeguard strategy, we also use a buying of a call. When you're the buyer of a call, you have a right to purchase at a strike price. The put had the right to sell at a strike price. The buying of the call has a right to purchase at a strike price. So when you're the buyer of a call, a single call, the best probability you can have is 50-50, just like the buying of the put, but most of the time it's going to be less than 50-50. But when we're using the safeguard strategy, we buy a call for free. We usually are selling something to purchase the call, but you still want to understand what your right is. Your right is to be able to purchase at the 610. So if you did something like the Bionic Bull with the safeguard strategy and this thing went up to $700, well, you're going to have the right to purchase at 610 and it's at 700. So you've made $90 in between. So you have unlimited upside when you buy a call. You have the potential to make all the way to zero if you buy a put. So you want to understand the differences between the buying of the put and the buying of the call. Also in the safeguard strategy with the Bionic Bull, we do a spread. So you want to understand spreads, and this is important. So let's just say we did a Bionic Bull and we bought a call spread like this. We no longer have unlimited upside anymore, because when we sell the call, this gives us an obligation. This is a right. But the right supersedes the obligation. It's greater. You got a greater right than your obligation, because the strike that you're buying is more and it's closer to at the money. So if it jumps up, you're going to have the ability to make money all the way between the 610 and the 640. That's a 30-point difference. So 30 times 100 is $3,000. You have the potential to make $3,000 to the upside here, not including what you paid, right? But when you're doing the Bionic Bull, you're not paying anything. So you have the potential to make that much. So if it went up to 700, you're not going to make that 9,000 that I was talking about, that 90 times 100. You're not going to make that. If it went up to, if it went up to 700, but you can make 3,000 because you have the right here and then you have an obligation. So you stops here. You stop winning. Just like when you sell the covered call, you stop winning at that call you sold. So with this spread, it's teaching you the basics of a spread, right? How much you can make between the spread. If we were selling this, it would be telling you how much you could potentially lose to the spread. But you have to understand these basics: the cash secured put, the selling of the call, the buying of a put, the buying of a call, the buying of a call spread, the buying of a put spread. You have to understand these things because they're just basic option strategies. If you understand them, you'll be able to understand everything that's created out there. If you didn't understand all of these things today, that's fine. Jump back in the lab, keep studying, keep asking as many questions you possibly can. But you want to get this stuff down because it's going to pay huge dividends down the road. If you don't, you're going to be missing out on a lot of opportunity because you don't understand the basics well enough to be able to expand your knowledge of the different strategies, to be able to strategically place things better when the opportunity presents itself. So time is our ally.